Today is a weather impact day. You can see on your screen we have an excessive heat warning in effect from the Twin Cities. All those deep red colors. Heat index value is between 100 and 110 today. Thankfully, this just lasts for today. It expires at 8 p.m. this evening. And if you're north and west of St. Cloud, you're wondering what's the big deal. It's actually not that hot up there right now. Take a look at these dew points. This is the real feel. This is the amount of moisture that's in the air. It hasn't been this high all year round. Dew points in the mid to upper 70s, even a couple of low 80s outside. It feels downright tropical. And you combine the heat and humidity. Look at this. This is the heat index, and it feels like it's 102 degrees right now in the Twin Cities, and a couple of 100-degree readings south of the metro as well. Again, this is going to be like this just through the rest of the afternoon and evening before we have some relief in the form of some stormy weather. That'll be moving through later on this evening. This is our temp and heat index forecast for today, feeling like it's warmer than 100 through about 2-3 o'clock. And then hopefully we get some storms rolling through here that'll help to cool us off. We are tracking a stationary frontal boundary, which is right about there. You can see a couple of storms firing off just west of Alexandria, and these storms are going to move into the metro later this evening, and another round overnight tonight. We'll time out those storms and talk about more about that relief in the forecast coming up. Cece.
All right, Ben, he's keeping track of a lot there. We'll see you soon. The heat outside can get dangerous quickly if you aren't taking care of yourself. Our Audrey Russo shows us the signs that could point to a health concern and where you can go to stay cool.
We are just 2 hours away from the hottest part of the day, that window from 2 to 4 p.m. So now is the time to start drinking water and to start making a plan for how to get yourself to a cooling center if you don't have air conditioning. The Salvation Army opened their cooling centers at 7 a.m. There's 3 in Minneapolis, 3 in St. Paul, and 1 in Brooklyn Park. They'll stay open through normal business hours today and through the rest of the week. Hennepin and Ramsey counties also both have maps of all the places to keep cool, beaches, county buildings, plus whether or not you have to pay to be there. You can find them on the Hennepin and Ramsey County websites. It's important to remember that heat exhaustion can come on quickly or it can build over a period of a couple hours. You'll know by the sweating, clammy skin, a fast but weak pulse. That's when you need to change into lighter clothes and start sipping on some cold water. Heat stroke, on the other hand, that's an emergency. That's when your skin gets red and hot. There's a strong, fast pulse and some confusion can set in. That's when you call 911 right away. Medical experts say you need to be really careful with somebody who's experiencing heat stroke. They say that they may be a little bit too confused and disoriented to properly and safely drink some water. So they say, again, it's best to use cool compresses first and then wait until they come to administer liquids. Back to you.
Some good tips from Audrey there. We're taking a live look inside the KARE 11 barn. You see everyone there braving the heat, waving there with their fans. And Michelle Beck was out on the fairgrounds earlier this morning with a look at where to go to get some relief from that heat.
With all this heat and humidity today, what's going to sound really good is this Lady Slippers Marble Sundae from Bridgman's, or really just about anything that is cold. And it is cause for concern, especially as today is senior discount day. If not dangerous, it'll be uncomfortable if you choose to head to the fair today. So remember to cool down. You can do that at the 8 misting stations or an air-conditioned building like the West End Market or the History and Heritage Center. Plan ahead, too, by knowing where the first aid stations are and how to track down free water. The State Fair app will give you a map of all 23 water bottle refill stations. And just across the street from the ice cream cart is the Coliseum, and you're going to want to keep this location in mind because it's one of several severe weather shelters throughout the fairgrounds. We are expecting some storms later today, so again, keep that in mind. At the State Fairgrounds, Michelle Beck, KARE 11 News.
Thanks to Michelle for that. Now, fortunately, when fair organizers plan for the event, they have the thousands of animals on the grounds in mind and are prepared for hot weather.
We've decided to not try to get bigger in terms of having lots more birds just for the sake of more birds. That means more animals. More animals means hotter in the barn if we pack them in here.
And so the animals are spaced out strategically so they have as much airflow as possible and several fans blowing in each barn. They always have lots of water available and drip systems set up. The large barn doors also help with cross ventilation. Hey, we're following a health alert today, too. New numbers from both Minnesota and Wisconsin health officials show that COVID is on the rise again. Both states saw a growth in hospitalizations last week. Wisconsin officials say the biggest increases in their state are in children under the age of 5 and adults over 65. It's a similar trend across the U.S. Federal health officials will be giving out more free tests starting in late September. Under the program, you can get 4 free COVID tests shipped to your home. When the time comes, those who would like the test can sign up at covidtest.gov. In just over an hour, the second man charged in the famous ruby red slipper theft will be in court. Crystal police say the ruby slippers worn in The Wizard of Oz were buried in Jerry Saliderman's backyard. Police also found more than 4,500 stolen items, including artwork and merchandise worth more than $400,000. They say those items were stolen over the course of 18 years around the metro. Today's hearing could determine whether he'll go to trial in 2 weeks. Today, St. Paul is saying a final goodbye to former Mayor George Latimer. His funeral started just hours ago. Latimer died last week at 89 years old. He led our capital city from 1976 to 1990, which is the longest tenure for a mayor there. Instead of flowers, the Latimer family asked for charitable donations in his honor to mental health services, the St. Paul Public Library, and the Bridge for Youth Homeless Shelter. Some political news now. We're just 10 weeks out from Election Day, and this week is a big one on the campaign trail. Fresh off the Democratic National Convention, Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz are starting a bus tour across Georgia today. The two are also expected to do their first joint TV interview and attend several fundraisers this week. It comes as their campaign says it's raised $40 million since the end of the DNC. As for the Republican ticket, former President Donald Trump and his running mate, J.D. Vance, also have several events on the calendar in swing states this week. Vance will be in Michigan tomorrow, delivering remarks about the economy. And on Thursday, Trump will hold a town hall just 2.5 hours from the Twin Cities in La Crosse, Wisconsin. In just over 2 weeks, Harris and Trump are scheduled to have their first debate, but now the rules of the debate are in question. A source says the two candidates are at odds over microphones. The Harris campaign wants them on throughout the debate. The Trump campaign wants them muted when a candidate isn't speaking. In a previous debate with President Biden, microphones were muted. Last night, Trump wrote on social media, again questioning if he should participate in this debate. Over the past year, the U.S. housing market has seen very little movement, but that seems to be changing, and it could mean a rebound for the market. Yeah, a series of factors are behind the change. First, the Federal Reserve is expected to drop interest rates next month. Mortgage financing giant Freddie Mac also recently reported the regular 30-year fixed rate mortgage has dropped to its lowest rate in over a year. Plus, the census shows new home sales went up more than 10% from June to July. Affordability is still an issue, though. Existing home prices are still more than 4% higher than this time last year. Meanwhile, a new Bankrate survey finds nearly half of working Americans say they'll likely look for a new job in the next year. The survey shows younger people are more likely to make a career change. That includes everything from finding a new job or quitting to starting their own business. The survey also asked what the top priorities in a job search are and found people are looking for better pay, different hours, or the option to work remotely.